Hello everyone, welcome to Node University Short Lectures. My name is Azat Mardan. I am the founder and the lead instructor at Node University, where you can find full-stack JavaScript courses and tutorials. In this short lecture, I want to talk with you about functions. There are multiple ways how to create functions in Node.js. Let's start with the oldest, just the keyword function. You type function, then you put parentheses, and you would put a curly brace to open the logical block. In the logical block, you would type your code for that function. And when you are done, you would put another curly brace. That's it. That's your function. Well, the problem with this function, it's anonymous. It doesn't have a name, so we need to save it in a variable. So typically, I would like to use a const, which is the ES6 name for variables. It's similar to constants, but it's not really a constant. It's perfect for the functions because we're not going to change the value of this function. So yeah, I would say const f equals function, okay? If you are using named functions, you want to say function name, then parentheses. So for example, function f parentheses, and put some arguments inside of those parentheses, and then the curly braces. What is the difference between the named function and anonymous? There are a big difference. First of all, the named functions will be hoisted, meaning you can put them all the way to the bottom. It doesn't matter. The JavaScript engine will look at the entire file, see the hoisted named functions, and you can execute them even before you define them. With variables and anonymous functions saved in variables, you cannot do that. You have to define them before you actually use them. Big difference. Another big difference is that when you are debugging in your error stack trace, in your error messages, when you have an error, the named functions will actually have the name. And of course, anonymous, they would not have that name. But still, you can see the line number and you can kind of figure out what is happening. I like anonymous functions, and I also like to use the fat arrow functions, which is the third way how to define a function. It's eloquent. All I have to do is just put parentheses, put some arguments inside, and use equal more sign. Equal more sign looks like a fat arrow. That's why it's called a fat arrow. The difference between a fat arrow and the anonymous function is that the fat arrow will lock the this keyword. You can go and rewatch the previous episode in which I explain about the this keyword and why it's important to log that value, to not allow JavaScript or Node to change the value. The short story is that you want to use the fat arrow functions. I highly recommend them because they will automatically do that for you. So these are three main ways how to create functions. There is no syntax for the named fat arrow functions, and also there is no skinny arrow functions. If you're familiar with CoffeeScript, in CoffeeScript you would have a skinny arrow function, which is just a same thing as the anonymous function. It doesn't log the value of this. So in Node.js we don't have that. And lastly, I want to tell you that when you're creating classes in Node.js, the methods now, they don't have to use that keyword function. You can just put parentheses after the method in a class and start typing using the curly brace, start typing the body of that function, and it will work, which is good because it saves you time, it saves you keystrokes when you're creating those methods in a class or also in an object if you're creating a method in an object. So that's it for this video. You've learned about three ways how to create a function in Node.js and JavaScript. If you want more information, go and check out node.university. Without the .com, just node.university. That's it. Thank you for watching.